Well, think about the lack of oxygen. We can go a certain amount of time without food and we still live. We can go a certain amount of time without water. But how long can we go without oxygen? And even though in our lives we take shallow breaths, we don't exercise, we don't really think about our breath and our breathing, when we breathe, we move circulation and oxygenated blood through the body and into the brain.
Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another inspired conversation of the herbal kind. We're actually back with the secret world of herbs and our dear friend, herbalista extraordinaire, Jane Barlow. It's good to see you, my friend.
Herbalista. It's because we were talking about being a barista.
In a machine.
Yeah, and our machine that takes the place. But herbalista, ooh, I kind of like that. I think it makes me sound younger. Does it make me sound younger?
I think it fits you perfectly, Jane. That's what all morning when I was thinking about our show today, I was like, herbalista. Just that really hits it for me. That is thumbs up, my friend. Thumbs up.
You know what? I'll take that all day long.
Okay, Jane, I gotta. You got conspiracy you brought it to a whole new level. So we all remember Inspire Tribe. We all remember starting in the 2020s, there was a heavy wave of censorship. We all remember posts got marked and taken down and people got deplatformed. But Jane Barlow, the herbalista extraordinaire, has experienced a whole new level of censorship on a mega platform. Jane, this is I haven't heard this story before. So please share what happened to you when you're trying to talk about the very, very conspiratorial world of plants.
Yeah, in fact, it's interesting because, I've actually been censored way before 2020. And it was a little bit more subtle, but I always knew it because I carry on a generational business, as you know. And my dad, who was a botanist, he even back then had to be underground a little bit, not completely, but there's certain things you can't say. And then with the invention of the internet, all of a sudden, you start to realize how tied your hands really are. And so when 2020 hit, the level of censorship surprised me a little, but not really, because you really start to understand what's at stake. But what I was sharing with you earlier is I've had a couple of interesting plants that I didn't think were controversial at all, have little weird censorship things on them. And so I just thought that would be kind of interesting for your audience to hear because it surprised me. So the first one, well, this one is not that surprising. A few years ago, I brought out some CBD products that were no THC, just CBD, like a bath bomb, which is, I know, super scary. A CBD bath bomb is like, just the word bomb in there probably is what triggered it. And then some CBD rub and some soft gels and some drops, right? And that was the first one where it was like, it was totally benign, what I talked about, what I shared. Many, many other people have shared it, but I had a really hard time posting it unless I took the words CBD or cannabis out of the actual text and just put it on the picture. And I thought, okay, well, that's really weird. And I tried it several times and I finally got the text to post along, and I had to take it even out of the hashtags. And I thought, well, that is weird. And then about 5 or 6 months ago, I tried to post a really beautiful post about an herb called water hyssop. And it's also known as bacopa monnieri, which is a really important brain herb. And there's a whole bunch of beautiful things about it, but the same exact thing happened. I couldn't use the word water hyssop. I couldn't use the word bacopa monnieri, even in the hashtags. What I had to do is put the picture with the name of the plant on the picture. And then I had to basically say, this plant has these potential benefits.
So, but when you say you couldn't, it wouldn't allow you to post the post.
Well, it posted it, but it wouldn't put any of my text on there. It would only have the picture. None of the text and none of the hashtags.
So you had to take those words out for the post to actually show up the way you wrote it.
Yes. So how it would show up was the picture would show up, but there was zero there was nothing. It looked like I made a post with no text.
And that's the AI, right? I mean, let's face it, that's AI literally in real time censoring. It wasn't a human being.
Yeah. No, it was in real time. And then the last one was just a few weeks ago for a really beautiful herb that I don't think any of these things are controversial, but this one surprised me. It's a really beautiful herb called Lungwort, which I'm familiar with because I have a really nice blend for the lungs. It's a nice tincture and the Lungwort is in there. So I did a little video about it and then I made an Instagram post and the same thing happened. It wouldn't let me write a text with the word in there, or then I would take the word out of there, but it was in the hashtags. And so when I would post it, it would just bring up the post, the picture, and it wouldn't let me post any text.
That's insane.
So then I literally within a few minutes, I took those words out and said this plant, and then there was the picture with the name of the plant on the picture, and then it let me post it. So I was just like, what is going on? And I just thought, then I brushed it away because I'm like, it's just.
No, it's you're literally the censored herbalista. And I'm not saying this jokingly. This is actually, people forget how much this is happening and on how many levels. And we've gotten accustomed to certain things, and we already use words to describe things, not the words that we should actually, I mean, it's all
like this, right? Like this. What? Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about these two plants though, because here's the thing. If you're not allowed to talk about them in a way that gives context and perspective to people, then they can't know much about it. So we're going to put the plants in the video description. We ask everyone to research them, to talk about them, to post photos of those plants, make them famous. Apparently, those are plants that could really, really help you right now. So let's talk about the first one, the water hyssop.
Water hyssop. So water hyssop is a plant that helps with mental clarity and focus. It helps improve oxygen and circulation to your brain.
I love it.
This is really, really, really well known for helping the human brain function at its highest. Because if you think about the lack of oxygen. We can go a certain amount of time without food and we still live. We can go a certain amount of time without water. But how long can we go without oxygen? And even though in our lives we take shallow breaths, we don't exercise, we don't really think about our breath and our breathing, when we breathe, we move circulation and oxygenated blood through the body and into the brain. So if you have an herb that can literally help improve oxygen and circulation to the brain, this is what bacopa monnieri does, or water hyssop. So this is one of its properties. So, and many people who are, brain doctors and even talking about medical doctors who kind of dabble a little bit, or who've kind of moved into the realm of, I really want to research some alternatives for my patients because my patients are starting to come to me. They're starting to say, hey, well, can I, I'm starting to have some memory loss, a little bit of brain fog. I'm a little bit worried about dementia. I have Alzheimer's in my family, whatever, and they don't want to do drugs. They want natural things. So there are some medical doctors. I have a friend here in Salt Lake who that's what he does. He's a medical doctor who does brain health, and he's very, very much into natural things. And he loves bacopa monnieri. So that's what this plant does. And it grows you can actually cultivate it if you grow if you live in places like Florida, or Texas, or because it likes standing water. So if you think it got its name because it's a water loving plant. So where I live in Utah, it would be very difficult for me to grow it myself. But in the modern world, we have access to really beautiful organic plants, and we can have them shipped right to our house, which is nice.
It's in your product in Brain Glow, right? That's where, and I'll just tell you this. So on many occasions, my day will be hours of research in the morning, doing a live show, recording an interview. So there's a lot of brain activity, and I need to be on the top of my game. I don't do anything without Brain Glow. It's one of my favorite products in the world. So water hyssop is in Brain Glow. And you can check out barlowherbal.com to see that. But I'm just telling you, this is a game changer for energy, freshness, for speed of thinking. It's just, it keeps me super super present, and I love it's completely natural. It's a wonderful product.
Yeah, thank you. And what's interesting to me is whenever something like this happens, especially with the little bit of censorship that I experienced with that particular plant, I formulated Brain Glow like 12 years ago, maybe even 13 or 14 years ago. But when I did the research, I researched, but then inspiration drops the formula in for me. And that one surprised me because but I didn't question it. And now after all these years, and especially this, it actually makes me even want to research a little deeper than what I already know about it. Because it's like, there's something special about some of these plants. And sometimes I just feel like I'm kind of a portal. That I get, and that I'm humbled that I get to do that. So I'm always, and I love everything about our modern world. Like I love technology. There's so much I love about being here in these times that we're in, with the things that I get to do, that I actually find it really fascinating to find ways to get the information out to people, despite the stop gates that seem to be up.
I would say this to our audience, please. You're a force multiplier. So water hyssop, and we'll put the botanical name, and we'll put, and then find photos. Start talking about it. Start, exploring it, using it. It seems to be more important than we even thought. And then the second one that gave you so much troubles was lungwort.
Lungwort. So Lungwort.
Which is also a plant that you use.
Yep.
But I mean, obviously it's good for the lungs, says in the name, but
yep.
Why would you speculate could that one be censored?
That one actually is the most recent one. And at this point, when something like that is censored, and here in a weird way, I think, okay, this is actually doing this on purpose to get my attention, so that I will shine more attention on it. So,
but with all the respiratory issues of the last years,
right?
I mean, to me, there's a logical. My brain goes, we've had like so many respiratory issues over the last years. Lung blend helps greatly with respiratory issues. So,
right. Well, not just that. Think about this, and this actually just kind of dawned on me in this conversation. If you think about what your lungs do, they provide oxygen. Think about what we talked about, oxygen for your brain and for the rest of your body. It's almost like, oh, okay. So what I believe is happening, because, specifically what I humbly get to do, I think that this is just putting it on my radar. It's just saying, hey, Jane, you need to pay attention to this and help teach more people about this particular plant, so that so it becomes more familiar. Like, I really love the idea of saying, start researching this, start looking into it. Let's make this, everyone knows about echinacea, which is great. But some of these little known plants, that people don't like, most people have never heard of water hyssop. In fact, when I said to you earlier, bacopa, and you're like, now what? How do you spell that? It's like,
she gave me 3 different versions of how to spell it.
Oh, you know what? I told you. I did. I actually am like, all right.
Hey, it's just black ink on white paper. No, but Jane, let me give you an additional piece of context that just came through while we were talking oxygen, right? So about 12 years ago, or 10 years ago, when they first started talking about this new frequency bandwidth that's going to be in telecommunications, the 5, and the letter, that was before it was approved, before it was going to go. It was just in studies, and they were putting it out there, and researchers and scientists were screaming and were sounding the alarm and said, these are military band, these are military grade frequencies, and here's what happens when you send this out on, in the massive way that telecommunications would. What you're going to see is people won't be able to absorb oxygen. because of the way that the atmosphere and how it affects the atmosphere around people, and that's going to be a problem. So this is, when you put it all together, makes total sense that anything that would allow you or your body to optimize those processes wouldn't be wanted if you don't want people to function optimally.
Yeah, no, that when you were just saying that, that actually gave me the chills, because I do think that that kind of puts a puzzle piece together, you know. But we are.
Sometimes we figure out before the show what the puzzle piece is going to be. Sometimes it takes the damn show. That's crazy.
It's true. It's true. But I actually love that piece, because when you hear truth and it drops in like that, it's really a beautiful thing. And I really do hope that people go start researching these things. And here's the thing: be really careful of your sources. I'll share information, and sometimes I'll get people that will say, "Oh, I saw this on PubMed," or "I saw this on," so where you get your information, be aware that there are powers that be that give us stuff that's not true. And you should be able, of course, I mean, that's a duh, right? But you should feel it, like tune into the feeling of what feels true for you. And we all have that gift. So.
And Jane, you're first and foremost, you love to educate, and not like in a teacher kind of way, but you just love to share your knowledge, your experience, your family's experience, your dad. I mean, you do it through, you wrote this beautiful book, the Be Your Own Shaman, and you do these very famous newsletters, email newsletters that you send out that people love and cherish. So I know that is where your heart is. And then you also produce these high vibing, high frequency products, which is wonderful. And the world benefits from those two. Please let us know. We're going to put those two plants in the description. And I, again, encourage everyone to do their part to spread that. But where can people find you, keep up with you, and find your website?
So my website is barlowherbal.com. Super easy. And my social media is also Barlow Herbal. So YouTube and Instagram mostly. And if you feel so inclined, I've really for the last almost 4 years now, every Sunday I put out a Sunday message of love, where I not only put out a little video, and this I really did for self-preservation for me, because when COVID hit and all this stuff started happening, and I couldn't understand why the world couldn't see it. I just thought I need to stay in a place of love. So I really kind of did this for a selfish reason, where I would write in my journal, and I would get on YouTube, and I would just give a message of love, so that it would help me, but I hopefully could touch one person who's feeling the same way as I am. So my emails have really morphed into something beautiful for me. And, you can go to our website and just opt in for my emails. I mean, I don't spam you. I'm not interested in, if you have no desire to buy something from me, that's fine. This will just get you access if you're interested to my emails.
I would. Great emails. Lots of love, lots of heart, lots of knowledge, lots of wisdom. Jane, I love our series, The Secret World of Herbs and Herb Censorship and Herbalista Conspiracies.
I'm an herbalista barista now.
Yeah, you are an herbalista. I mean,
so let's just let everyone know up front that you're kind of a drug dealer too, because you and Kristin got me hooked on coffee.
Excuse me, I'm my hearing just. Please take responsibility, Jane. Take responsibility for your own actions. Just because we showed you some of the world's best coffee and put it in front of you every single day that we were together doesn't make us responsible. Jesus.
I was thanking you.
Here, my friend. Here's my shot of afternoon pickup, but it's actually, for me, it's the taste.
Nice.
Well, I react to the caffeine maybe a little bit, but not really. Here's
what I'm drinking.
What are you having? Is that a margarita?
This is kombucha.
Sure. No, I'm just kidding. Jane's not too much into. I've never seen her with a margarita.
Yeah, I don't. I used to drink alcohol every now and again, but I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful, my friend. Thank you so much. As always, great pleasure, great honor.
As same for you, my friend.
And Inspire Tribe, please hop over, check out Jane's socials and the website barlowherbal.com. Spread the word about these plants. I think we need it. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we will be back with you again very, very soon.